we will continue our unit that is equilibrium, and in equilibrium today's topic will be equilibrium relating to dissolution of solids in liquids and gases in liquids. Also today we will discuss characteristics of equilibria involving physical processes. So first let me come to equilibrium relating to dissolution of solids in liquids, and we will also take into consideration dissolution of gases in liquids. Gases in liquids, solids in liquids and gases in liquids, and we will discuss equilibrium in these cases. First case, that is this one, equilibrium relating to dissolution of solid in liquid. Let me take a solid and a liquid. Suppose I take a liquid first. This is a liquid in a container. This is a liquid. Suppose this is water. Here the liquid taken is water. Let me dissolve a solid into it. Say I am dissolving sugar in it. Sugar is in solid state. So what I do, I will dissolve sugar into it, into water, and I will continue stirring with a stirrer. This is a stirrer. I will continue stirring up the solution so that sugar dissolves into it. If we keep on dissolving sugar into water, it will keep on dissolving in water. But ultimately, a stage will be reached that no more sugar will get dissolved in water. There will be a stage, there might be a stage when you cannot dissolve more sugar into water. Then the question is, where will that sugar go then if it does not dissolve into the water? It will settle down at the bottom. And when this stage is reached that though no sugar is dissolved in water even on stirring, that state is said that the solution is now saturated. So what is a saturated solution now here? Saturated solution is a solution when no more solute can be dissolved in it. So this is how a saturated solution is formed. Now the equilibrium between these two states. Now what are the two states? The state, let me write here, equilibrium between the solid, that is sugar in this case, and its solution. That is its solution, that is sugar solution and its solution. Equilibrium between the solid and its solution is indicated by saturated solution. So what does saturated solution indicate? It indicates equilibrium between what and what? Between the solid state, that is sugar, and the sugar solution. This will be equilibrium relating to dissolution of solid in liquid. Now let me state solubility here, because when we had added sugar to the water, the solubility had come into play. The maximum quantity of solute, because every solute and solvent has solubility, the maximum amount of solute, for example in this case sugar, that can be dissolved, that can be dissolved in 100 grams of solvent at a particular temperature, is called solubility. So what is solubility now? It is the maximum quantity of solute that can be dissolved in 100 grams of solvent at a particular temperature. Amount of solute in grams dissolved in 100 grams of solvent is known as the solubility. Now, so we have come to the conclusion that sugar in solution and solid sugar this is indicative of equilibrium relating to dissolution of solid in liquid. Solid here was sugar and the liquid was water. Now coming to another dissolution where we will dissolve gases in liquids. So we will take another case, that is dissolution of liquid in gases. You might have seen that when you take a soda water bottle, suppose you have a soda water bottle and you open its lid. As soon as you open its lid, that is the lid of the bottle, what happens? The soda water fizzes out. Fizzes out means it comes out with great pressure. Fizzes out. You might have seen when a soda water bottle, its lid is opened, what happens? The soda water fizzes out of the bottle. Now the question is why this comes out of the bottle. It is due to increased pressure of carbon dioxide in water. So your soda water is basically carbonated. By carbonated means it is treated with carbon dioxide with high pressure. So when we open the lid of the bottle, this high pressure gas, that is carbon dioxide, that pushes this water, that is the soda water, out of the bottle. That is why it fizzes out. Now when bottle is opened, suppose you open the bottle, the pressure, now suppose this is a bottle, this is a bottle. When you open this lid, what will happen? The pressure above the solution, that is here, this pressure, this pressure, this pressure, the pressure above the solution decreases, and when the pressure decreases, the excess carbon dioxide comes out, and then they come into a state of equilibrium, and after some time you find that no more soda water comes out of it. After some time you find that the soda water in the bottle, that becomes flat. So this is gas in liquid physical equilibrium state. Now let me come to some characteristics of equilibria involving physical processes. So we will learn some these characteristics of those equilibria where physical processes are involved. Now coming to first character. First character is that the system can be in equilibrium only. A system can be in equilibrium only when it is kept in a closed container. So equilibrium takes place, or equilibrium is attained only when the process takes place in a closed container, and especially the insulated containers. So this is one of the characteristics of equilibria involving physical change. Now physical equilibrium is attained only when the two opposing processes means one is a forward process. Suppose this is A plus B, this gives products. Now here we have two processes. One is this one where reactants are forming products, and other is this one where products are again forming the reactants. So these are two opposing processes. So the rate of these two opposing processes should be same. So physical equilibrium can be attained only when the rates of how many opposing processes? Two, one forward and the other backward. Rate of two opposing processes is equal or same. When the rate is same, only then we can say that the process is in equilibrium involving physical change. Now third characteristic is that the observable properties like pressure, temperature, they must be constant. The observable properties which I have already discussed, like pressure and temperature, the observable properties of equilibrium the observable properties of equilibrium, like what are those observable properties? Like pressure and temperature must be constant. They should be constant. If they are kept constant, then after some time concentration will also become constant. Concentration also becomes constant. If pressure and temperature are kept constant, also becomes constant. So this is another characteristic of equilibria involving physical changes. And then suppose these are reactants, they are undergoing a reversible process, forming products and attaining physical equilibrium. Now if they attain physical equilibrium, reactants will have concentration. The concentration of reactants will be given by this. When we keep something in square brackets, that means it indicates this is concentration of reactants. Similarly, this is concentration of products. So the ratio of these two, the ratio of concentration of reactants and products, this is the ratio. Ratio of concentration of, this is concentration of reactants and this is concentration of products. This should always be constant. Please remember that any process which involves physical change and in that process equilibrium stage is reached, in that case the ratio of concentration of reactant and products is always constant. Only then such an equilibrium is attained. And that is all for today. Next time we shall be discussing chemical equilibrium. And that is all for today. Thank you very much.